China is facing a storm of public unrest and rising frustration as its economic slowdown fuels discontent, protests, and even acts of violence. In recent weeks, mass stabbings, car ramming incidents, and targeted attacks, including some on students, have rattled citizens and unnerved the Chinese Communist Party leadership. These events paint a grim picture of a country struggling to contain the social fallouts of its stagnating growth. The Communist Party has doubled down on its typical playbook of repression. Officials have been dispatched to nip conflicts in the bud by screening people for financial or emotional instability, while paramilitary troops now guard schools in Beijing. Meanwhile, China's infamous internet censors are scrubbing any criticism of the economy, suppressing viral commentaries, and silencing economists who dare speak candidly about the nation's woes. China's economy is encountering significant challenges characterized by slowing growth, deflationary pressures, and weakened consumer demand. In November of 2024, retail sales growth declined by 37.5%, indicating Chinese consumers are scared. The CCP wants a consumer-driven economy like the US, but this is a very bad sign for them. Additionally, housing prices have declined, reflecting ongoing struggles in the real estate sector. Deflation remains a persistent issue, with factory prices falling for 26 straight months due to overcapacity and weak demand. Deflation is harmful because falling prices discourage spending, increase the real burden of debt, reduce business profits, lead to wage cuts or job losses, and risk triggering an economic contraction. It can create a self-reinforcing cycle that is really difficult to reverse, making it a pretty strong threat to economic stability. All of this has raised concerns about a potential prolonged recession similar to Japan's in the 1990s. The unrest isn't just about specific isolated economic incidents, it reflects a deep economic disillusionment across the populace. Millions of young Chinese can't find decent jobs. Youth unemployment hovers around 17%. Homeowners are watching as their property values plummet, while others fear their apartments might never be completed by debt-stricken developers. What few migrant workers China has, and even some government employees, are actually not even getting paid at this point. For many, these struggles are eroding the legitimacy of a regime that has long boasted its ability to deliver economic prosperity. Authoritarian regimes are stable and prosperous until they are catastrophically not. It's not really a slow trend. Xi Jinping's government appears to understand this, and they also understand the connection between these economic troubles and the growing dissent among the population. The Politburo, which is the CCP's top decision-making body, recently urged officials to, quote, protect the people's livelihoods in a bid to maintain stability. But there have been over 7,000 instances of public unrest in just 2.5 years related to the economy. It's clear that Beijing's repressive tactics are struggling to keep a lid on the anger. Even as Xi Jinping leans on the Mao-era Fangzhou experience, which relies on local communities to monitor and resolve disputes, the strategy is failing to prevent explosive violence. And even some in those local communities that Xi Jinping relies on are joining the protests. Adding to Beijing's headaches, the global spotlight on these incidents comes at a time when China is bracing for a potential economic battering from Donald Trump's return to the White House and his promises to issue heavy tariffs on China. This looming pressure only amplifies the cracks in Xi's facade, where he presents himself as a strongman and a leader of an unshakable superpower. Behind the heightened security and the censored narratives lies a deeper problem, that is Beijing's inability to manage its economic decline while also maintaining a grip on public order. Xi's reliance on a powerful repressive apparatus could backfire, as frustration continues to simmer in a society where open dissent is systematically crushed, so there's no outlet. China's growing unrest reveals cracks in the foundation of Xi Jinping's rule, as an economy in decline fuels anger that repression can no longer fully contain. With protests surging, trust in the regime eroding, and global pressure mounting, Beijing faces a critical challenge. Either they adapt or risk a social and economic upheaval that even the iron grip that he normally has may not withstand.